Ready for some Tweak It expert inspiration? Each week, I love introducing you to one of the 50 personal life and career experts who shared their wisdom in my new book, Tweak It. My goal is to have their simple, get-started tips inspire you to make what matters happen each week as you take control and actively manage the competing demands of work and life. Today, I am speaking with Lorie Marrero, founder of the Clutter Diet. And we're going to talk about ways you can organize your life and your work as part of your busy, everyday work-life fit in 2013. Welcome, Lorie.
Hi, Cali. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the Clutter Diet, and I'd also love you to touch on some of the wonderful work you're doing with the Goodwill Industries.
Oh, thanks. Yes, well, I've been a professional organizer since 2000 and worked with people in person for a long time. And then in 2006, we created the Clutter Diet so that we could serve anybody from anywhere at a very affordable price. So we've served thousands of people in 18 countries around the world, and we are excited about what we can do for people, especially this time of year. It's a busy time of year for us. And through that and the expertise that I have, I've gotten this really great relationship with Goodwill Industries International, and I'm so proud of that because I'm talking to people who donate things from their closets every day, so I get to educate them about why Goodwill's a good resource for that. So
that's terrific. Great.
Yeah.
Well, so that leads us off exactly where we should, which is why we should make getting organized part of our everyday work-life fit. I think sometimes we think it's drudgery and we don't see the benefits. And I know for myself, I have a very super neat husband who over the years has actually proven to me that being organized helps the way you sort of move through your life. So why don't you talk about some of the benefits?
Well, absolutely. So you save time, first of all. So, when you're running around looking for stuff in the morning, we call that going on a buscalo. Yeah. It's a Spanish word meaning to look for something. You don't want to be going around on a buscalo wasting all your time in the morning looking for your keys or the kids' homework or whatever it is. And you get a lot of time savings back there. Also, you save money because you're going to make better shopping decisions. You're going to find the things that you didn't remember that you had. You're going to use the gift cards you got for the holidays. But also, I think this is really important at this time of year too, to think about how organizing really is kind of a meta goal, right? Organizing yourself helps you with all the other goals you have because it's about planning. And, the Tweak It system is so much about sitting down once a week and saying, what do I want? Well, there's a lot more to that you could plan and organize, and we can talk more about that.
Yeah, no, and I think one of the things you and I have talked about is I think it's always interesting to hear how an expert struggles, because when we talk to experts, we sometimes think we have it all going on in our particular area of expertise. And I know we've talked about the fact that you yourself have struggled now and then to find a way to fit organization into your life. And what area do you struggle with the most?
I think, time management is hard for lots of people, and it still is hard for me, and I procrastinate just like everyone. So what I find is accountability really works for me with that, and so I really need that. And just this morning, actually, I had my weekly call with my accountability partners. I've had one of them over 10 years. But, even the experts struggle with everything. In fact, every expert I know will tell you that story. I mean, it's often we even get into something because we have struggled with it and have conquered it.
Yeah, so, I agree. I always laugh. I say I wrote Tweak It and created the Tweak It practice as much for me as for everybody else, because I had something to learn from the secrets of the work-life fit naturals that I was meeting in my job in companies, and I thought, oh, I could use this. So yeah, it's so true how we get into the areas that we focus on. It's kind of interesting. So where would somebody begin? I think, again, one of the reasons that I interviewed you and the 49 other experts in the book is I found people got excited to try to get started in a particular area of their life or their career, and then all of a sudden they didn't know where to begin. It's like they couldn't break it down initially into the smallest steps And in the book, you give some wonderful examples. The thing that I think is so great about your work is you do organize things in these great little acronyms, and it's easy to remember the steps. And you talk about that in my interview that I did with you in the book. But what's an example that somebody could start doing today?
Well, you're right. I do a lot of really corny acronyms and stuff.
Oh, I love them.
Well, and I do it because it makes it more memorable. I've studied actually, a lot about memory and things, and I think mnemonic devices are really helpful when you're trying to get something down. Well, one thing I'd like to share is something that just really hooks right onto the Tweak It practice. Like I mentioned, you're going to be looking once a week at what do you want. So let's take that another step further into organizing, and I want to share the 5 C's.
Oh, there you go.
Not an acronym, but it's, what is that? An alliteration, I guess. There are 5 C's that you can look at every week as you are kind of doing that planning. We call it Sunday planning because a lot of people do this on Sundays. They kind of have a down day. So the first one is letter C for calendar. And that would be, okay, yes, get your calendar, but also get your spouse's calendar and your kids' schedules and look at everybody's week together. Then the second one is carpool. So whether you do a literal carpool with other people or not, somebody has to be somewhere at any certain time. There's all these practices in school and all that. Who's going to take the people to the places they need to be and when? Then the next one is cooking. What's for dinner? And, we have our mutual friend, Aviva Goldfarb, so she's got the 6 o'clock scramble. That's probably a great answer for everybody. But, just take that few minutes and make those decisions because you don't want to be making those decisions at 6 o'clock. So what goes along with that is you've got a grocery list that you're going to be building, and so that kind of helps you to save time at the store. Then the next letter C is chores, and as our friend Amy McCready would say, who's a parenting expert, I like this. Don't say chores, say contributions, and that's also letter C, so that works. But who's going to do what? So if someone's cooking, who's going to do the dishes, and who is going to, sweep the porch and wipe the counters down or whatever. But getting those things figured out avoids a lot of arguments. Then we have the other letter C, which is children. So children require certain things, especially younger children, bedtime routines. Who's going to help with homework is a big deal. So getting down who's doing that and whether you need a sitter that week. That's always the last minute emergency. Oh my gosh, we need a sitter. We're calling people the day before. So avoid that too. But I read this book one time by Brian Tracy who said that every minute you spend in planning saves you 10. So that's an ROI that you can't argue with. So doing those 5 C's every week, you're not only going to be happier with your Tweak It practice, but you're going to get all that time savings back.
Another amazing tip from Lorie Marrero, getting organized. And I have to say, if people go to the Clutter Diet site, you will find many, many more great, easy, very actionable, simple ways to get started with getting organized. So now tell me, I'm going to switch to you.
Sure.
In the book, you share a great example of how you tweak your work-life fit. It's small ways that you incorporate exercise into your life by walking on your treadmill and doing your email, which I think is a wonderful, what do you call them?
Well, I call it work walking.
No, but the two, when you do two things together, what do you call them?
Duo-tasking. I call that duo-tasking.
Duo-tasking, right.
Yeah.
So what's an example of another small action that is meaningful in your work-life fit?
Well, when I say duo-tasking, we all know multitasking doesn't work.
Yep.
But there are elegant pairs of tasks that can be done together without any loss of efficiency there. So the work walking is one. Another one I do is I listen to a lot of audio content while I am puttering around, if I'm cooking or whatever. I just find that makes me so much happier. I have all my little podcasts and my audiobooks and things and just music sometimes, but having that iPod with me, that's a tweak that really makes me happy, and it doesn't interfere with, the efficiency of what I'm doing.
That's great. And there's so many terrific podcasts out there. You could learn everything about everything. So that, what my new favorite one is? Alec Baldwin has a podcast series. I know. And here's the thing. I just love it. I just think it's great.
Yeah, that's my new favorite. That's so funny you said that. I just discovered it. And you know what else? My other favorite lately is called Snap Judgment. It's just storytelling.
Huh.
And sometimes, I just want to be entertained, and it's just great, true stories, and I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Lorie, thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about where we can learn more about the work you do, about your book, or about any new interesting projects you have going on right now.
Well, I just finished a book about the home office, which is the thing people ask me most about. So it's taken me a while to just really get that answered the way I wanted to, and I'm so excited about that. So people can go to clutterdiet.com/home office to find out about that, and I'm excited. It's going to be really helpful, I think, for people.
So give me an example of one of the simple tips from your home office book.
Well, so when people are managing information, so here is another acronym. Yes, okay. Another one.
Excellent.
Corny one. It spells the word ART. So any kind of paper, email, any information you can sort on a high level with this acronym. So action, reference, or trash. Those are the three things you can do with information. You either have to do something with it, keep it for reference, or toss it or delete it. So I also like to encourage people to think about the rock, paper, scissors game we played as kids. So think about the paper symbol being action, like this is work right in front of you. The rock symbol being for reference, and that means something you want to grab onto or keep. And then, of course, scissors, right? So delete, cut, shred, all that. But it's just, again, another mnemonic device. So as you're sorting, you can really easily remember how to get through your piles faster.
And it is endless. Well, everybody should read that book. That sounds terrific. Well, Lorie, thank you very much for spending time with me today, and I appreciate it.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, I am sure your insights and your advice will help all of us take small steps to incorporate organization into our busy work-life fit in 2013. For more information about Lorie and the 50 other career and personal life experts I interviewed, please look into Tweak It and the Tweak It Together community site. It's at www.tweakittogether.com. And remember, if you want to make what matters happen, just tweak it.